right. Hello, everyone. Welcome to the official season 9 of the Sirtos podcast. We are back with a transcontinental recording today.
That's
the
right.
Right word. Yeah, I think that is the right word, right?
Yeah.
So take it away. Introduce yourself. Tell us who you are. And I'll just sit here in America very sad that I'm not with you two, because I have a feeling you're having a lot of fun today.
Don't mind the bell when it rings for the souvlaki and the freddo cappuccino. Like, we'll drink it in quiet.
It's okay. I'll start drooling like Pavlov.
Right.
Don't worry.
So I'm Panagiote Tsolis, Pete Tsolis. I live here in Athens now for about 4 years, originally from Long Beach, California, and Las Vegas, Nevada. What I do here is I'm the director of the business program and a professor at the Hellenic American College in Athens, Greece. So if anybody wants to study abroad in Greece,
feel free to reach out.
Yeah, feel free to reach out. But yeah, so I'm here after I completed my Ph.D. at Pepperdine in Los Angeles.
Awesome. Well, thank you for joining us, and thank you for that plug. I'd like to study abroad. I'm not a student.
Okay, non-credit.
You're a student.
Okay, cool.
That's fine.
Student of life. Awesome. Yeah. Okay, cool.
You're always
I'll be that. Yeah, exactly. That like weird person, like, hey, I'm back.
Hey, movie Never Been Kissed.
This is like a little bit unfair because if you were to be like, what's that movie? I have no idea. I'm like maybe 2.5 decades behind on the movie. So if you guys make jokes, I'm just going to laugh along because I have no clue. But welcome. I had no idea that you were originally from Long Beach. I thought you were like Vegas only. Awesome.
No, yeah, I moved to Las Vegas in high school.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Yeah.
Cool.
And then the last 3 years while I was back in the States, because I was studying in LA, I would go back to Long Beach, stay there. And then, depending on when classes were, go back and forth between Long Beach and Vegas.
That's awesome. On this video, it's so funny because I'm sure you guys can see yourselves as you can see me as well.
I'm trying not to.
But it's literally like blue eyeball, mustache. Blue eyeball, mustache. Best thing ever. I wish we could have like a split screen and like put your faces together so it's like half and half.
See, it's like, yeah. Will this work? I think this new video edition is fantastic. I'm just gonna say. Yes.
I think so too.
We're leveling up.
Yeah.
That's for sure. So go podcast, going places.
Yeah, we are certainly doing something. Who knows really what it is, but it's very exciting. So before we get into kind of like your dance life and stuff like that, and I know you've done interviews, if you will, or things like this before, but tell us a little bit about how it is living and working in Greece as a Greek American. That's, I think, on people's minds. It's kind of like a hot topic these days. Talk to us about your experience a little bit, if you don't mind. We'll go there first.
So my experience is not necessarily like a typical one if you were to come here, because I work for an American-style college in Greece, and we also have a campus in the U.S., and so we do have a hybrid of Greek work culture and American work culture. Like our meetings are either in Greek or in English, like it depends, right? I'm not working for a proper Greek firm. For the most part, I enjoy being here. Like I said, I've been here for 4 years. There's definitely different ways of conducting yourself here than you would be in the U.S. There's different types of like things that I might consider alarming, which others might not, and things that they might consider alarming where I'm like, what's the big deal, right? And these are things that you learn. And this is the first time I've been asked this in quite a while, but I do feel that I'm much more like adjusted to my work and who I'm working with than when I first got here, right? Having a meeting in Greek, for example, like when I first got here, I was like, Nico echi tria katsikia, right? Like, even if I spoke Greek perfectly, like you get into it, like imagine like, how like they always say if you watch like the Greek news, that's how you know you can speak Greek. But imagine now you have to talk to them at the same exact time. You're like, okay, this is going to be interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah. But like for those who want to come here, I would suggest really being self-aware and understanding kind of like how competitive you'll be in this market for an example, if you want to come be like a digital marketer, right? You're, in your mid-20s, early 30s, you've worked several years, you went to a really good school. What makes you different than a Greek, right? Like, why should they hire you where you might be a little bit more of a risk, right? You can always get your American passport, go back home. You might, I would suggest if you do want to come here, find a way of getting a remote job. Make sure you do everything proper in that way. You don't have to come here and fully go into Greek society. You can still save a lot of what you like from wherever you grew up, right? Like I've actually met quite a few people that come here and they're so focused on like getting a job in Greece and working for a Greek company. I go, is this like an ego thing or an income thing or like a standard of living thing? Like, if your goal is really just to live here, have a nice standard of living, and you can work remotely from the US, then God bless you, do it. Like, you don't have to make a Greek salary because others are. If anything, just make sure you spend your salary tipping people and like, even like if it's €2. I know we don't have too much of a tip culture, but if you leave a couple euros here and there, you're going to make their life a little bit better. So you're going to be contributing a lot more to the economy than just, that normal digital nomad. Right? Because you are Greek and you're including aspects of what you brought from outside into the society.
Yeah. That's a really interesting point.
Yeah, I've never really thought about it that way. But yeah, definitely bring up a really good point about having that. Yeah.
Yeah, no. And thank you for entertaining that question. A little advice for folks. I think it's like, I think something that people are reaching for these days, right? Or thinking about, but like when push comes to shove and you really think about like acclimation into a different society where you identify culturally, at least in some aspects, like thinking about that, like, how you can influence and support other people's lives if you are remote and making still like a US salary in Greece, right? That's a totally different ball game at that point in time, so.
And the term of like identity, what does that even mean really? Like your Greekness doesn't really change depending on where you live in a sense, right? Like it's all subjective. So if you like to go hiking, there's Greeks here that like to go hiking. Yeah. If you like to sit at a cafe, there's people that like to sit at a cafe. If you like to do rock music, there's Greeks that like, you don't have to like, you'll find your community here. Right. Yeah. It's not like the community that we've built for ourselves in the US, because we kind of create like this weird homogeneous Greek American community where our similarities are that like folk dance or language or music and this and that. And then you have your personal life outside of it. But here, it's all here, right? Like you can have everything. Together. Yeah, it's all, you're just here.
Yeah. It's interesting. So thinking about that, tell us a little bit about your Greek identity while you were living in the States. What was dance like for you? How did you get involved in the culture? Like all that kind of stuff.
Well, as most, let's say, of my generation, like, my parents are the ones that came in the 70s. Grew up in Long Beach, really tight-knit Greek community at the time. My generation isn't like my dance group, right? Like at least on the West Coast, we always associate our years with whoever we dance with through FDF. So like my generation, we had like 20 some kids, right? Give or take a few years up and down. All spoke Greek. Parents spoke Greek to us. We might have spoken English to each other. The standard Greek dance, Greek school. Started my first FDF was 95. As a participant, I definitely went to a couple of the other ones as a baby, because my brother's 2 years older than I am, so he attended, and then I was the world's youngest spectator. I was the mascot, right? Like every kid who's born is a mascot. And then didn't really get a chance to go to FDF every year due to economic issues that we might have had as a family. But like I was lucky where like Piloto host would help out, or just some things. And then due to that, we moved to Vegas, where we got back to a right place. And then again, danced there for quite a bit. Now you're in your high school years, your college years. So taking breaks, right? You go to college, you're trying to work. And so on and off again until like my 30s. But try to give back. I was on a management team for FDF twice. And then for the community in Las Vegas, I've served on the Parish Council. I was on the board for the folk dance and then president of the folk dance group for 3 or 4 years, resigning around the time when I was, I think, getting my Ph.D.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's around the time where I had to take a step back from extracurriculars. Member of the board for the food festival in Las Vegas. So quite a very strong, very active Greek American life.
Yeah.
HDF
Like
participant. I loved HDF.
What year did you go to HDF? That's fun.
18, I feel. I think it was 18. What
Okay.
Orlando? Whatever year's Orlando, because I had
Well, it's been a couple of times in Orlando.
What year around 2018 was Orlando? Was it 2017, 18, 19? Like
it was
raining.
Probably 18.
Yeah, I feel like it was 18. Because I came back from Greece that year and I went straight to Orlando from Greece.
Oh my gosh. Cool.
That was my first Christmas in Greece experience.
No.
That's a dream.
Yeah.
Yeah, whatever. Okay. Well, it's great in Florida. No, I'm just kidding. It's great in Florida. It's a dream. It's a dream.
Hey,
Go
just
ahead, Nico.
something to shoot for, Maria.
I mean, yeah.
It's come sometime. It's a different.
It will.
Yeah.
And it's definitely changed since I was younger. Christmas here, it's definitely more westernized. I will say it feels more like Christmas. At least for me, it does.
So, today, I have some friends visiting from the States. And so in Athens, I live near the Pediantuario in downtown. And we were walking, they have a book fair this weekend. And during Christmas, they had like a Christmas choreo.
Mm-hmm.
And I go, they try so hard. And she's like, what do you mean? I was like they have the peritera, but like half are decorated. Like they're trying to be like a Western European Christmas, like what you see like in Germany. But like the guy like puts up like a star and he's like, yeah, the Tsolis.
It's the effort that counts.
Yeah.
I'm on the side. It's being a video.
Every year they can add a little bit more, right? Like you have a star this year, maybe next year some tinsel. Like we're here for it. Here for it. I love that. That's awesome.
So Pete, what are you doing nowadays as far as staying in, bringing out that Greek culture, that music, dance stuff? How are you still participating in that these days? Like between, the living the Greek life, if you will. And
so let's go back, I guess, several months because I just had a newborn. So like things have changed. But like, let's say, when I was first here, I did dance for quite a bit with a couple of Siloi here in Greece. I even performed in Egalio. A friend of ours, Aristula Tsolis, she was my director there when I first met her. She's like, you know how to dance, apparently. We're going to put you on stage. Like literally, like I met her like on a Friday. She saw me dancing because I hired her to like teach tourists to like Greek dance. And she's like, we have a performance on Monday and we're going to practice tonight at 6. We're going to get you fitted for a costume and you're going to dance with us at Monday at 6.
She like whips out her tape measure.
It was like all
perfect.
So, and then from there, I met like a lot of her friends and then the musicians in that group, but also some of the friends that I had from FDF, musicians that I've met throughout the years, whoever we might have brought to teach us. And like, let's say in a standard year, since I've been here, definitely whenever there's a Panagiote that's a little bit more low, like not mainstream, because there's like categories of Panagiote here. There's like the Karyotico Panagiote you see on Instagram where like people are going there, but nobody really knows how to dance and they're all drunk with their arms around each other. I'm not going to those, right? I'm not really staying to those. Those are fine. Like they're great too. Sure. But then you get like, I was telling you, Nico, there's like a couple restaurants here that they might have like live music, and a Silogo might have like a musician from like Skiro, for example, or Icaria or whatever. We're just sitting around. We order like our food with our wine. Whoever wants to get up and dance, there's barely a dance floor size of a table. And we're just listening to music. And I don't really dance too much anymore since I've gotten older, and Greece is very hot sometimes. So I'm like, I'm just gonna sit here. But I love listening to the music and singing along and just having that like mini trapezi panagiri style. And so that is something whenever I hear that happens, or like There's apokrias type of a glendi, but again, it's more like people that dance as silogi, as opposed to trendsetters. Like you could totally see that in different panagiria and different groups. Like, yeah,
Just the
if that makes sense.
authenticity. Yeah, right.
No, like it's great that it's trendy, right? It's great that folk dance and folk music is trendy and things like that. But like, are you there because of the certain ways that the tradition is done, or you're there to party?
Mm-hmm.
Both are cool. Like, I'm not gonna judge anybody, but
Sure.
me, I'd rather be in the more intimate people that are more there just for the live music and the like, you know,
Yeah.
if that makes sense.
Yeah. Yeah, no, it makes complete sense. I think it shifts the vibe a little bit,
Yeah.
right? Like, and we talked about this on a podcast that we recorded a little bit ago, or that I recorded a little bit ago. It's just a different experience, and no shade, like it is kind of cool because that increases demand, right? Not an economist here, but like interest leads to something. So I think I agree with you that it's cool. It's just a different vibe, and I think for people who expect to show up someplace where the vibe is like that, really authentic, just chill, whatever, and it's not that, it can feel so different than what you expected, you know.
I think they call
And I
them
don't.
groupies.
Yeah,
Like
yeah,
that. There's a group of people. Like if you see, they always go to the same panagiria and stuff. Whenever it's
yes.
very popular.
Yes. Yes. I was in Athens this summer, and the pareja that I was with, one of the guys had a video of this couple from last year. I think they were in Paros maybe. They were at the same event dancing, and he went up to them. He's like, "Look, I have a video of you guys from last year." You know.
That's cool. Yeah.
Um,
Yeah. Good. Yeah.
yeah. And you know what? Like, I agree with you. Like, I think it's good that there's popularity and focus around it, because I think for so long, like at least my experience growing up over summers, there weren't like the neolea wasn't at
No.
like
No.
the events, like
No, no,
they
definitely.
weren't there, and now they certainly are, like you see it way more, but
Yeah, what I like about the more like cozy ones, let's say like a restaurant where you're buying food and then like they have musicians, and so it feels more like you're at a home. Or
yes,
like the
Yeah,
other one's like a panagiria, and so those are great, of course, too. But like the home feeling,
that intimacy.
yeah,
Yeah.
like I met his name is Kiro Costa. He's like the guy that does the momogiri,
Hmm.
because
oh wow,
friend of mine was here trying to learning momogiri and things for his group, and so I joined him a couple of times, and we went there, had podía café guitar, and like they had live music, and it was not even like dancing; it was just hearing the kimenze and just listening and eating, and that was like great. Like that's beautiful. Like for me, that should be on every corner. Like that's a great night out.
yeah,
Type of experience. It
Mhm.
doesn't have to be that traditional. It can even be just a rebetica or something to that liking.
yeah, no doubt. It feels like a little bit underground too, like when you
Yeah,
stumble upon those experiences, and um,
totally.
Like, yeah,
yeah,
we're trying to keep this,
Yeah.
tight knit
Yeah.
exactly. Yes, I think like I'm all for that. And again, this is not gatekeeping, because golly, we've talked enough about
No.
how people shouldn't be doing that, right? But it's just finding yourself in like the experience that you want to have, which I think is wicked cool that's around, and that you can kind of experience that in Athens or beyond, wherever it
Yeah.
might be. Um, how was it dancing with a group in Greece? Did it feel like there, like you were just with? I mean, did you feel like a fish out of water? How was it? Like,
Oh.
what was the vibe there?
So like us FDFers could be pretentious sometimes. So like if we were like just dancing for fun and they were like doing it wrong, I was like, oh, do I tell them that it's wrong? Actually, my director, you know, yeah, because Mercedes taught me how to do it this way. You know what I mean? But for the most part, like most of Silogi are like focused on like a region, and then they might dance off to something else just for fun. That's what I mean by that. It's weird because like we have like a school year version of dance in the States. Like it's September, let's start writing for FDF or HDF. This is the steps, 1, 2, 3. And when you so open to like a Silogo here in Greece, they're already like halfway through the semester. Like they're taking their midterms, and I'm like, wait a minute, what step are we on? And
Right.
that could be quite intimidating. like if somebody's new, I'm sure they would like step back. I just step back and I watch the steps, and if I didn't know the dance, I'd jump right in. And I could see that could be as intimidating for someone that might be really new. But there's probably a CELO role for that, or somebody will come. But they're very warm and welcome, and it's definitely like I'm here because this is my extracurricular activity and something I like to do. And we're gonna dance, and then we're gonna go to the bar, and we're gonna go for souvlaki later, and that's our Monday night or whatever that Monday night is. And it was really cool, like to have that as our Monday, and it was late too. Like I think it started like 10 o'clock at night, the one that we went to.
Oh
So
wow.
we're done at like midnight, 1 o'clock, and then everybody would go to work the next day. Uh, that was how
Awesome.
I felt going to that. And this the whole idea of like depending on which group you're on in the States too, there's a lot more severity for how you dance. Like you're not doing the steps right. Like you need to come here and I can teach you. Where they're like they don't care about what you're doing.
Mm-hmm.
Like as long as you're kind of on beat, as long as you're long in the row, like we're just here to have fun, dance. You'll figure it out. If you want to learn, like the director will come teach you, but it's not like that. Like, oh, your leg is not at a specific degree as you lift, kind of
Yeah.
thing.
Mm-hmm.
And that was really nice and refreshing. But again, like here, it's just everywhere. Like you can pick a group almost every day of the week if you wanted to.
Yeah,
And
Oh
that's
wow.
true. Yeah.
yeah, it's just like going to yoga. Like it's serious, like that's what it is. It's like going to yoga on like Sunday. Like you got your yoga mat, you bring it to that and
Like just show up.
yeah, you too, you know.
Yeah, I know. I was like the image in my head. I was like, oh, that's interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, just like
Um,
yoga, just like you're doing your spin class. That's your dance, your exercise for some people.
yeah. I mean, I think that's awesome, and I love to hear that. I love to hear that it was like not a difficult sort of step to take, if you will,
No, yeah,
unintended there. You know.
they'll welcome you, and like these people that are dancing for whatever region they are, they're the ones that are featured on Alatitigis.
Mm-hmm.
In other words, like they're dancing at such a top level. They're seeing is like what we in the States would want to record and emulate, and
Mm-hmm.
there's no judgment at all. At least in the two groups that I was with, they like welcome me with open arms. The director of school, I still see them at like functions because they have different see like you have different events that you might go
Mm-hmm.
to, and you really do feel like you. So if you ever do move here and you like that, know that you could build your community by going to one, or you could build
Yeah.
your friend group through that.
Yeah, that's awesome.
And something I've seen too is that a lot of Silogi will do also like trips together and things like that. They'll go to like different parts of Greece.
Yeah.
Like they'll make it really is like a community deal. And so like you build these friendships, you build these relationships with people through, the Silogo.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, they'll go to like that region, and then they'll go to the Panagiote in that region for the summer.
Mm-hmm. So cool. I love that. I love that there's that community that you can immerse yourself in and that you can connect to, because I imagine that, like, when sort of the joy wears off at times, right? Like whenever you move somewhere, you're like, it's great in the beginning, right? There's a lot new, there's a lot to kind of figure out, and then you sort of are like, oh shit, like here I am, So the fact that you
the
like
fourth time the metro breaks on you, or the fourth time there's a strike when you got to go to work or whatever, then you're like, all right, the honeymoon's over.
all right, yeah,
Like my life was
seriously.
just made way more difficult than it really needed
Yeah,
to
like
be for no reason.
There's totally a honeymoon stage. For like the first 2 years, we're like, I'm in Greece. Look at me. I'm having a frappé near the Acropolis. But you live like 4 hours away, like in a cross.
I mean, I get that. I get that, because talking to like people, whether they're from Greece or the States, and I'm like, oh yeah, I live in South Florida. They're like, ooh, South Beach, Miami, and I'm like, I haven't been there since I moved here, except for one time, and I don't go because it's not where I want to be. But you know what I mean? Like that's what people think about. Like,
In all
like
fairness, if you live near Athens, you will go to the Kedro once a month.
Sure.
At least like it's not it's one of the few cities in Europe where like Greeks, it's for Greeks too. Like it's not like Milan where like it's just tourists, right? Or certain parts of downtown Rome. Like right now, if you walk around Athens, there's a lot of Greeks having dinner.
Yeah. I think one of the coolest things for me being in Athens is just like taking a beat and just looking at what's around me and realizing like the intensity that that carries, because it is antiquity, you know.
Yeah.
It's just um, there's a difference between old and ancient, right? You know, clearly here, and you don't see that necessarily in the States, right? You see stuff that's old, and like you can go to George Washington's house and like Mount Vernon, which is beautiful, right? These are important places in the history of the US, but nothing compares to like getting kind of lost in Athens, sweating your face off, to your point, because it is so hot. You got like your Fredo in hand and you're just like, and then you just look up and you just pause for a second. And it's like,
And there's the
holy
rock.
cow.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it is. And it's a wild experience to be there when you're sort of like living, as opposed to like just being a tourist, you know, and like visiting for like a day or two. Like I feel like spending like a good while in Athens is always a good idea. There's just so much to see, you know?
Really is, yeah.
And recommend for the winter, fall, spring. Like,
There's never a bad time to come.
Yeah.
But realistically, there's always something to.
but Athens change. Like in the summer, you definitely feel it's much more touristy, especially downtown. In the winter, because it's colder and we're not sitting out at cafes, that's when you see a lot of more of that inside intimate type of events,
Mm-hmm.
right? So it does feel like a little bit more like wintry, I guess. But I grew up in like LA, so we didn't really have winter. I'm like, I have to have a jacket now. Yeah.
Yeah, no, I feel that. I think I fell in love with Athens in the spring when I was there in March, and I was just
Hours.
watching people like,
Be so
you know,
excited to come out of winter.
yeah, but they were like at work and or walking to work or maybe on lunch or whatever they were doing, and they were just so sharply dressed and like, you know, having these great conversations, and it was just like, wow, you know, you see it, it was really cool. It was cool to see that. It was a totally different vibe than like summer and it's hot and there's tourists with umbrellas shading them and you're going to lose an eye, you know, depending on where you walk. um, let's get back to dance though, because, you know, we've been talking a ton about other stuff, which is great too. But favorite regions, places to research, music, what comes to mind?
So I have an affinity for Peloponneso because I am from Peloponneso, of course. I feel that it's a very underrepresented region. Lately, though, you do see a lot more of it. I don't know much other than like the basics, but I always appreciate when people like do these things. And so I feel a lot more connection with that, of course, because of my family. Like literally, papudes and stuff are from Peloponneso. As like personal, like I have a weakness for Podiaca as a Greek from abroad, just because you feel like their story resonates with you no matter what. Like Saxene Melnas Kessenladexano kind of a thing. Like I'm a Greek American here. I'm very, Greek, and then I'm Greece and I'm the American, right? It's funny. My coworkers call me Pete, but like everybody that I know call me Panagiote, but because I'm like the American, right? So Podiaca, and then like there's no region I dislike per se. I love Thracian, Macedonian, Epiros to an extent. Well, like,
I like that caveat, like to an extent. It was like, side note.
Epiros I love to listen to, but
Okay.
like I can't move that slow sometimes.
Interesting.
I'm not top heavy. I'm gonna fall right over. And then islands, of course, are great. Cretan, but like for me, I've gotten away from the dancing.
Sure.
I just want to hear the music.
Yeah.
And so, like, what I've really gotten into in music is like, what's the bagpipe from the islands?
The tabuna.
Tabuna. I love tabuna music. Love that. Whenever that any region that has that type of a bagpipe, I just really get into listening to it. I even went to, I think it might have been Apocorias, and they had like a tabuna get together at the metro stop for Theseo, and they had like 3 or 4 people playing, and we were just sitting there listening to guys playing music. Some people were dancing. Like that's cool. Like That's my jam right there. That kind of stuff.
Like in the station or like outside?
Outside. Like if you like in Thisio, you know how like it's the train, so it's not like underground, and like right near where the walk is towards like Thisio, and then that is where they had just sitting on the stairs.
Together.
Yeah, just sitting on the stairs.
That's amazing.
And we just sat there, and then like in Apocas, you can go to like Gazi and see like the carnival and all that. But that's what I wanted to do.
That's so cool. Oh my gosh. I actually have never taken the metro in Greece.
Really?
It's very convenient.
Yeah. It's actually
I feel like I was going to take it this summer, but I had my bag with me, and
you'll be fine.
Really? You think? I mean, I think I fit in. Like I fit in very well.
Gold-plated Louis Vuitton bag. No, like nobody.
How did you know?
Actually, what am I gonna do with all these rhinestones?
Right, exactly. It's not glittery enough. Listen, are you making fun of Carpathians? Because I feel like you do them very well.
Watch out there.
No,
I'm just kidding.
Try not to take the metro at 9 a.m. Try not to take it at 4 to 7, because you're just not gonna have a lot of room. Everybody's going back and forth from work. But if you're leaving, like I went to the doctor and I left around noon to take it back from my Parish Council to the center, I sat down the whole way, right?
That's awesome.
So yeah, you can easily move around Athens, especially if you stay in downtown. Even if you have friends that are in like a suburb, don't think that you need to rent a car.
You have to have a car.
Yeah, just take the metro and then take a taxi from there.
Yeah. I feel like driving in Athens is just comical too. Like I've done that, but
we were talking about that earlier. Yeah, it's interesting.
Yeah, it's kind of like this, and you know what I mean. Like,
yeah, we drive in cursive.
Well put.
That's awesome. That's so awesome.
So what's that?
No, go ahead. My bad.
I was gonna say, is there anything that you would say you miss as far as like the dance stuff goes from America versus here, or maybe vice versa, or there's something?
I miss my friends that I made. Right.
A reunion.
We actually met at Glendy, Vegas, almost 15 some years ago. We meet up every time. Like since I've moved here, almost every time we've been here.
Pretty much, yeah.
Like I miss my friends that I grew up with there. I do miss aspects, like if we consider just like the dance life, the FDF kind of like it's a yearly reunion type of a thing.
Like
I'm going to see all my friends are going. You know what I mean? Like, it doesn't matter how old you get, you still have that excitement. Like even because this college I work with has a relationship with the archdiocese, and so we've sent our now president to FDF, and I went one year as a representative of the school for different things, and I was excited to see all my friends again, and so that's like something that I really miss is the relationship that I built throughout my life, and being able to see and being able to see people from cities far, right? Like Las Vegas isn't close to Long Beach, isn't close to Seattle, isn't close to Belmont, isn't close to all these other places, and then you do meet friends from other parts of the U.S., and that's really cool. We don't have that type of a thing here. There's not like a let's all get together type of a thing, and I don't think anybody would go if we did.
And I would say it's despite Greece is a much smaller country than the U.S., they don't travel as much. You're not going to find that, like the people from Thessaloniki, which is it's still a 5-hour trip as far as driving goes, but they're not going to be coming down that often. Or even like someone in Crete, they don't come up to Athens that frequently. If at all. Like most of the time they're like, if they come to Athens, it's going to be
bachelor party.
Yeah.
Or I was at Bazooka and I saw like a bunch of Cretans there for a bachelor party. Like, that's where it went straight to my head.
Yeah, that's so interesting. It's interesting because I feel like when I was living in DC, like just driving home to New York, which was at the time like a 5-hour drive, was like, yeah, you do it in a weekend. You know what I mean? It was like,
yeah,
easy.
Yeah. Here, like the mentality is also like, if it's longer than a drive for an hour, I might have to spend the night. Where we don't really have that
Sure.
in the States. Like I just the other week, my cousin was here from Long Beach, and so I was like, "Hey, you want to go to Corinth?" So we drove the hour to Corinth. We drove around. I showed him like several sites, and all right, let's go back. And then the next day, we went somewhere else, like Sunyo, which again is
Mhm.
an hour drive in one direction. Saw and came back, and people were like, you went to Corinth and Sunyo all in the same day, like that. Those are two different vacations,
Yeah.
And so that
Yeah.
mentality. But then again, do they have the disposable income to be able to do that too?
The means,
Sure.
yeah. Not a lot of people even have
Yeah.
cars.
Or who are they going to
Yeah.
see? Like my godmother lives in Loutraki, so I went to go see her too. Like, or if it's the Saloniki, I have some friends there, so I've seen like maybe
Mhm.
people also just because they grew up in a small town or a small village, it's like you driving to, let's say, Tennessee. Yeah, it might
Mhm.
be a 6 hour drive, but like, why? Why? Do you have
Mhm.
anybody there?
I mean, I do. Yeah.
No, yeah, I don't know. Like, I don't know.
Yeah.
I
That,
do. Yes, but no, I get what you're saying.
It's like leaving me in the dark, and like you agreed with me, so I was going with
No,
it. Yeah,
but no, I
like I have
agree with
people
you.
you
everywhere.
Like,
should, you should hit Wyoming. There we
Yeah,
go.
yeah. Well,
You don't have anyone there, do you,
do
Mary?
you have anyone in
no,
Wyoming?
not yet. Not
Yeah,
yet.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wyoming. 23-hour drive to Wyoming.
Right, exactly. But there's a great coffee shop there. So if I wanted really good coffee, like maybe, and I'm just kidding, no, I wouldn't. But no, I mean, I get that. What's the why? What's the objective? You know
Mhm.
what I mean?
Yeah.
And this is very similar to the point I made earlier. Like, I'm not going to go drive down to Miami. You know what I mean? Just for like to go to Miami. Why? Everything. I have a beach here. You know what I mean? Like, there's not like a person there. There's not a reason there. Like Nikos Vertis was what got me down there the last time. And I was like, that was it. We're good for a few years.
Even if you think about it like in a social construct, like Greek Americans were very privileged. Like our parents came as immigrants, and most of us are professionals in some way or another, even in their family restaurants, lawyers, doctors, and so forth. So we've already moved into an echelon that is
Mhm.
at a very higher level, right? We're here. Go ahead now on LinkedIn and look for director's jobs in whatever you're doing or manager jobs. There are no management jobs. There's no big companies in Greece. 99% of the country is small businesses. So you're already starting off with like, how am I going to leave? Who's going to run the Cafeneo, right? Or who's going to run the taverna? Like I am like me and the staff or whatever. So like to defend
Interesting.
why they might not travel is, well, they're not the vice president of a software company like you are,
Sure.
or the lawyer like you are, or one of four people in a restaurant that's turning a couple grand a month, right? They're
Mhm.
literally, one restaurant in Ohio or like in Athens, and this is their income, and they have to, take care of it. So they don't have in their mindset like if they leave, it's vacation, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, no, that's such a good point. And I had a conversation similar to this the other night where it was like, can you afford to shut your own business down for 2, 3, 4 days, whatever it is, to go do something, right? That's a way different question than can you afford to take vacation time where you're still
Outside,
getting paid,
Yeah.
you know?
but even and shut it down outside of the 15th of August when everything else is shut down. But
Exactly.
then shut it down again so you can take a vacation because now you're kind of
Exactly.
forced to take a vacation when everybody else is on vacation, and
Yep.
now you probably just going to go to the village because you might not have the disposable income to go anywhere else because all of Europe is on vacation.
Hmm.
So yeah,
Yeah. Yeah. Or you don't want to also like deal with how busy other places get because of all of Europe being on vacation,
Exactly. Yeah.
you know? Um, yeah, I mean, I don't know. It's just very interesting perspective. And I think it's just something we don't necessarily think of. And like, if you think about like your grandparents or whoever it might have been, your parents, right? They operated in the US with that mindset, right? So like my papu had his own deli. And my assumption is that he wasn't closing the deli often to go, drive the family on vacation, right? It was like, no, we're going to send the kids to Greece over the summer, blah, 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 or they're going to go with yaya, whatever, like my yaya, go with mom, that kind of a thing. Exactly, because it's that same premise. And then
So again, like
I
we
think,
came up with like a lot more privilege in that sense to where we had
right,
much more flexibility.
right. We're like so fortunate because of that, you know? Um, wow.
Yeah.
Such a deep conversation.
Well, I always like
Important.
one of the like I can only speak to myself is like I feel I have resentment to my old self because you come with this Greek American mentality of like, why are they doing this like this? Like, come on, like just get with it. Get out of the and then once you get here and you start analyzing and you start really looking at like the historical or the social or the economic or the this and you're like, man, take it easy.
Yeah.
Like take it easy on like this is how the like they don't have maybe the resources that you might have, right?
Or the structure in
Or the
place.
structure in place. Like again, look for a job. If you are at like a senior management position, look for that same job on LinkedIn and see how many opportunities you have here versus your state in the U.S.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Maybe not,
No, I
maybe
fully,
the city, not even the state.
Yeah,
Might
like
as
yeah.
even
well.
the city. Yeah, you pick your city and then
Mm-hmm.
do it with the whole of Greece. Guarantee it's probably going to be 5x more in your city in the U.S. if it's
Mm-hmm.
like a major metro area. So that's kind of hard. Like
Yeah.
you're studying,
Yeah.
and then like where can you go economically? Like always going to be a manager or supervisor or coordinator, right? Or open your own business.
Which is also not
Yeah.
easy to do in Greece too, because there's a lot of bureaucracy and red tape that you got to get through, and then upfront costs. It's
Mm,
not like,
Mhm.
and the tax deductions and things like that, or
not as
incentives
favorable.
are not very favorable. Yeah,
Mhm.
for the country for whatever reason. We won't get into that.
No,
That's a whole
that's a
other.
different podcast.
um, another, I mean, that's a huge point, and I see it in healthcare, right? Like, I am a nurse by trade. Yes, I'm not at the bedside. I work at a director level in a large hospital. Um, that doesn't really exist. That doesn't translate in Greece. And it's interesting when I talk to people about what I do. You know what I mean? Like, I don't think necessarily nursing is a sought after job in Greece. And I think it relates to how nurses are treated, how they're valued. It depends on where they work, right? Like, I think at some of the hospitals that is shifting. It's certainly shifting, but it's very similar to most of Europe, right? You know, and I was talking to somebody and I was like explaining what I do, and he was like, "Wait, as a nurse, you're doing this? Like you people report to you who are not nurses?" Yeah, yes, they do. You know what I mean? But it's culturally just so different,
Mhm.
right? So
Yeah.
I think you're bringing up some super interesting points about like we can be so idyllic when we think about what Greece is, but then we can be so adverse to really jumping into like just slowing down.
Or
Like, yeah,
accepting.
it's
Yeah.
gonna,
Mhm.
Well, because
yeah, it might.
us as
Go
Greek
ahead.
Americans, we really tie our identity to our Greek culture.
Mm-hmm.
And so coming here where everybody's Greek, you have a fixed identity that you're trying to see, well, like, why doesn't it fit in this where it should fit 100%?
Yeah.
Where
Square
like,
peg in the round hole.
yeah, where like, even if I lived in Vegas and I moved to Seattle, I'm pretty sure the Greek aspect of my life wouldn't change that much. It might even get more because there's a bigger community out there,
Mm-hmm.
right? So there, it might even just increase how much of the Greek type of things I might do, but it doesn't
Mm-hmm.
change that much. But here it'll change, like as an American Greek coming back,
Yeah.
especially like if you have those FDS, like our mentality of how we run our communities. Because our communities are much more of a structure type of a thing, where these are a little bit more organic.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah. Oh, I love this. What a great discussion.
Yeah,
What a great
hope the
discussion.
audience is liking it too.
I
Give
mean, I
it,
hope so too.
give it a like and share.
Oh my gosh. Yeah.
Subscribe.
Yes.
Don't
Yeah.
forget to subscribe.
Don't forget to hit that bell. I don't know. Is there a bell on that?
I mean, yeah. I think
Yeah.
there is. I don't know. You guys should do all the podcasts together. It's actually very comical. This is, have you ever laughed
Maybe
this
we
much, Nico? Like,
yeah. Maybe we'll have to have another co-host here. We'll just start doing threes company deal.
uh, shoot. You know who I was going to let into the podcast, and unfortunately, he's teaching a private lesson at the moment, Mr. Carabas. I
Oh, that
know.
would have been an amazing surprise.
If you would, I would have just like been like, bye, y'all. Let me know when you're done. Stop the recording when you're done.
Yeah, that would have been pretty epic.
And now we know who I went to the Pontoon restaurant with.
Exactly. Oh, he's a gem too. He's a gem. We're gonna re-record him soon. So,
So
this
Pete,
was.
I was going to say, we always like to ask, as far as a legacy goes, like what do you want to leave behind with your dance experience, your music, your culture, now especially having all this experience living in Greece? Is there something maybe you want to take back to America, or something that you think bring from America here in that aspect, or kind of what do you see in the near future there?
So in Greece, I'm an educator.
Mm-hmm.
So I'd love to bring a lot more of those like stronger structural business practices to Greece that may not exist in some degree, right? Like, working with your team and having a much more open conversation, separation of power, like these types of things, right? When it comes to the work culture here. Not saying that my school has that like in my situation, but as somebody who teaches MBA students, this is what I hear from my students. So that's something I would love to, that I am bringing hopefully, and I love to bring. What I would love to bring back to the U.S. in any type of a way is for us to realize what the vision and the goal of what we're doing is. Like, I truly feel that, like, I don't live very far from Ammonia. I don't live very far from Metropolis or these like very poor neighborhoods. And yeah, okay, there's a lot of immigrants that live there, but there's also a lot of non-immigrants that live there as well. Or in the Army, when I was, like, you can totally tell the difference between social classes. And what I would like us to do is to realize what is our vision and our goal for Greece, or even for ourselves, right? Like, why are we dancing to go to FDF or HDF? Is it to win a medal? Like, I just love it when somebody, like, you're at FDF and you're waiting in line, and like they're like a Vlahopula is with her frappuccino complaining about something, and I'm like, are you like upset that your Tamiko wasn't as good as somebody else's? Like, really, like, what are you complaining about right now? Like, you're just like a peasant holding like a $13 coffee, and you're complaining that you didn't touch your toes properly. Like, that's like, you're really off the mark if that's what our goal is right now. So I would like that to come back, and to realize as the future generation that this isn't, your identity isn't tied to the Greek dance. And it's funny because you mentioned Dimitri, and now, bring him out to this, like, we have conversations of this all the time. Do your effort to learn the language. Do your effort to learn the dances and learn it properly. Not hold on to material that, grandpa's dying on his deathbed. Like, here, please pass on my tradition. Well, not until I win found like sweepstakes, right?
It's staying in the vault.
Yeah, it's staying in the vault until it's ready for this dance round.
Locked up.
Let's just remember why we're doing this, and that's what I like. And then another thing that I would like, at least us in the diaspora, to realize is that have more of a grassroots to our solutions, right? Don't have it top up, down. Have it down going up. Society knows what needs to happen for their daily lives. So that's what I would like if we were to kind of like make better bridges. Hopefully that answers the question.
Well, I think so. Very well. Well said.
Yeah, I think it's so important to listen to, it's not even undercurrent, it's listen to the current of like what's coming up from the people, because that makes a truly transformative leader or transformative experience, like, right, that's so important. That's so important in many facets of life, not just dance and, everything like that.
And really reassessing what is that goal, like why.
Yeah.
That's huge.
And if it's to spend time with your friends, cool. Like, that's great. That's a great community, wonderful thing. If it's to learn and pass on tradition, that's even better. If it's to whatever it could be, but let's just kind of make sure we stay to our true north. So that way we don't go away from it, right? Because we are the generation like us, really, like us now, the millennials, are the ones that like have a degree from our parents, or at least our grandparents, to the next generation. And as the generations go, what does this mean? And like, okay, do we try to build schools? Do we try to build stronger community centers? Do we start breaking down like any disagreements that we might have to help each other out? Right? These are things that I would like to see.
I think it's fantastic. All for it. All for it. Did you guys do your military service together?
No, he did the real one. I only yeah. I went for 2 weeks and I paid a fine.
Like, I'm out.
Yeah, once I learned how to roll cigarettes, they let me go. You checked every box.
Fair.
Like, all right.
Fair. They're like, you reached your quota.
Yeah, they're like, oh yeah, welcome to the club.
That's amazing. That's amazing. This was great. Thank you so much for being on. Thank you for arranging your day and everything like that.
Thanks for having me, guys.
Oh my gosh, it was super fun.
Best of luck to the continued success of this podcast. And I just love,
thank you. Appreciate that.
A few weeks ago, scrolling and saw so many familiar faces, and I've listened to many episodes and I've heard so many familiar voices. And this is wonderful. What you guys are doing is bringing people together in like a very open dialogue.
Thank you.
Guys, continue.
I think that's definitely a goal, and as we're moving into season 9, it's like, yeah, the dance stuff is important and we're talking about that, but like, holy cow, we just had a really cool conversation that I think dance was like the thing that opened the door to like just talking about other stuff. And I hope that happens more with other people and in different settings too.
But if you think about it, like in a village, like in 1800s, 1700s, like dance was just like a weekend thing that they did.
Totally.
With us, it's more of like a central part of like our identity. We're there. It's just like something that, and that's kind of what happened in this conversation. Like it was just something that we ended up doing, but we talked about so much more.
Yeah. We're so authentic. Awesome.